What's up, and welcome to another edition of 40-Minute Debates, where two parties will argue the most triggering social and political issues in 40 minutes or less. My name is Tyler, and I will be your host today. Now, today's topic: does transgenderism negatively affect American society? So let's go ahead and introduce our contenders. Advocating for transgenderism in America is IEatPlutocrats. What is going on? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well. And advocating against transgenderism in America is Bryson, also known as Bryson Gray on Instagram. What's up, man?
You already know.
So viewers watching at home will be able to vote on who won this debate by visiting our Instagram page at 40-Minute Debates. Now remember that the person that wins the debate isn't necessarily the person who you agree with the most, but the person who made you think the most. The poll will only be up for 24 hours after this video airs, so vote quickly. Now let me tell you how this is going to break down. Each of you will get 3 minutes to present your opening statements. After this, we will have 6 rounds of rebuttals, 5 minutes each. During each rebuttal, one person will lead the conversation as they see fit. When it's your time, you can ask your opponent questions, address their stance, or forfeit any remaining time that you may not wish to use. The debate will then conclude with a 2-minute closing statement from each of you. Do either of you have any questions before we get started?
Good.
Do you guys care who goes first?
Nope.
All right, ladies first then. Ladies first.
No, please.
Oh, you don't want to go first. Okay. No worries. So Bryson, I'm gonna have you start. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that I have the timer here. And all right, Bryson, you can go ahead whenever you're ready. Your 3-minute opening statement starts.
I don't really need the full 3 minutes. To be honest, transgenderism, it's a word, I guess people use it, but transgenderism doesn't even really exist. You can't be another gender. That's just common sense in all actuality. And also the culture of it, it is anti-feminism in itself. When you got people, grown men, bullying women in women's sports, that's just simply unfair. And lastly, you're normalizing mental illness. A lot of these people, honestly, should be getting help. And that's why I feel bad for them. They shouldn't be normalized.
That's it? You're good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Short and concise.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Miss.
I have 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, you have up to 3 minutes. So if you want to run that clock down, you are good. Let me know. You can just start, and then I'll start the clock.
Excellent. Okay. I'll start now. Transgenderism, in and of itself, does not have a negative impact on society, okay? When we speak of transgenderism, we're talking about trans men and trans women, right? By virtue of their transness, they don't have a negative impact on society. What does have a negative impact on society is actually the stigma around transgenderism. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, more than half of transgender male teens who participated in the survey reported attempting suicide sometime in their lifetime. 30% of transgender female teens said that they attempted suicide as well. 1.8% of non-binary teens said that they attempted suicide. According to the Human Rights Campaign, transgender women of color, especially those who are Black, are at the most risk of being murdered for being trans. These suicidal ideations and suicides and murders are indicative of a society that marginalizes people who are trans. But for those who receive support for their transness, the statistics actually drastically change. There's a reduction in suicidal ideology in people who have actually supportive parents. Okay, so the following is a list of the scientific and social organizations that destigmatize and affirm the validity of trans identities. The American Psychological Association, the American Medical Association, the American Psychoanalytic Association, the Human Rights Campaign, the World Health Organization, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American College of Osteopathic Pediatricians, and the United Nations. These organizations confirm the scientific consensus that trans people have existed throughout history, are subject to discrimination, and that transness is not a mental disorder. The World Health Organization also recently stopped classifying transgenderism as a mental illness. The Human Rights Rights Campaign, together with the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American College of Osteopathic Pediatricians, affirms that the best outcome for transgender youth result from institutional recognition of the validity of trans people, and also from a concerted effort to aid trans youth through therapy, puberty suppressants, hormonal treatment, and familial support. Furthermore, gender transitioning has a positive effect on transgender individuals. Cornell University compiled a meta-analysis of 56 studies regarding transgenderism. 52 of the studies indicated that transitioning has a positive effect on the mental health of transgender people. The other 4 indicated that transitioning had mixed or no results, and absolutely 0 of the 56 studies indicated that gender transitioning has a negative effect on transgender individuals. The American Academy of Pediatrics confirmed that
15
puberty
seconds.
suppressant. 15? I'll say the rest. I'll say the rest later.
Okay.
I think that's sufficient.
Okay. All right. Whew. All right. So we're going to jump into our first round of rebuttals. All right. So, Bryson, it's on you. Now, Bryson, you can use your time however you see fit. If you want to ask her questions, if you just want to just talk yourself about whatever, but you control the time. It's completely up to you. As soon as you get started, I'll start the clock.
All right, go ahead. Well, she said a lot of stuff and she was reading, obviously. And I know that was a lot of information, but unfortunately, I'm not trying to be rude. It doesn't matter. I mean, the fact is, I'm gonna tell you why. The fact is you can't be another gender, period. Like, I can say I'm a woman tomorrow, put on the wig, put on the dress. Guess what I can't do? Get pregnant. You know why? Because unfortunately, that's not nature or reality.
Barren cisgender women can't get pregnant either. Are they not women?
Secondly, another problem with this transgenderism nonsense is she even said it. She said they stopped deeming it a mental illness. Why? Is it because of public pressure, or is it because
because it's not a mental illness?
Let me finish. Or was it what? And this is the thing that none of them can say. Show me the new science that came up that made them change that.
From the World Health Organization.
The WHO.
The World Health Organization.
I know that's why I said the WHO. But but there's no new science. Don't tell me who said something. Give me new science that makes it less of a mental illness. And I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a mental illness before you respond. You know, I really don't mind if you interrupt me, but you know,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. They talking about why she said all the suicide statistics, right? About transgender. First off, teen transgenders. What? And then you say you brought up suicide rates. Now I find that funny. And of course they're gonna blame it on not being accepted and stuff like that, right? Let me ask you a question. Who else, if y'all think y'all not y'all, but transgender people think they're oppressed, who else have been oppressed, right? Jews, right? Black people, right? All people have been oppressed.
Yeah, no one's denying that. No one's denying that at all.
No, my point is
Plutocrats, let him do his thing. When he addresses you, then you can go ahead and talk.
I just want
my lips are sealed. I
just want somebody to show me suicide statistics on these groups that resembles anything like transgender folk when it comes to suicide. You can't blame it on that because everybody has been through it. So if multiple groups have been through the same thing and one group have an enormously higher suicide rate, it's more to it than just being oppressed. So I mean, can
I respond to that?
Yes, please. Go ahead, I'm done.
In my case, in my initial 3 minutes, I did cite the American Academy of Pediatrics, which is where that source came from, right? The source that said that 50% of transgender males have attempted suicide, 30% of transgender females have attempted suicide, and 41.8% of non-binary teens have attempted suicide. This is drastically higher than that of cisgender teens. And there's no getting around that. There is ample evidence to support a higher rate of suicide ideation among transgender youth. That's just it. Why? Because of stigma.
Why do they have higher suicide attempt rates or higher suicide rates? Why?
Because they live in an identity that is stigmatized heavily in American society. They are kicked out of their houses. They are ostracized by their classmates. I mean,
is that the only group that go through that? Fat people go through that.
I know. There are plenty of people who have it rough in this society, but we're talking about transgenders.
Well, why are the suicide rates?
People.
Why do the suicide rates not match?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
you already said transgender people are not the only people that go through these things you're saying. So why doesn't the suicide rates of everybody else match theirs?
Because they face a different level of discrimination. I mean, they go against the cultural, idea, which is not based in scientific fact, that gender is a binary. But it's not. It's a social construct that falls on a continuum.
60 seconds.
Right? It's bimodal. So.
Question: Who will get attacked more in 2020? Somebody that speaks against a transgender on Twitter or a transgender on Twitter?
I don't have it. Do you have any data on that? Do you have any data?
Oh yeah, because people get literally.
Because I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that
people get literally kicked off of Twitter for that. So.
For being a bigot against transgender people?
You just proved my point. Thanks.
Okay.
30 seconds left.
Oh, it's still my time?
Yeah, it's still your time. I mean, unless you want to cancel your time, we'll switch it over.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me bring it back to 5 minutes. Miss Plutocrats, you have 5 minutes. It's completely your time. Control it as you see fit.
Yes. First of all, I want to say sorry earlier for saying transgenders. No, absolutely not. So sorry about that. Second of all, I'm going to get into, Bryson, your case real quick. You said that transgenderism doesn't exist. Do you have any evidence to support this?
Yes.
Any sort? I just need one.
Oh,
I would love to read it, believe me.
You can't be transgendered. That's it.
Do you have a source for that?
Yeah, you can't be me. I can't be you. It's a fact. We're built different. Our bodies are built different.
Source. I need statistical data that refutes the dozens of studies that I found. I need statistical data that proves that transgender.
Your studies doesn't change natural order. You can't be me. You know this is a fact, right? Can you be me? Can you be a man? Can you get a girl pregnant?
Bryson.
Can you get a girl pregnant?
I'll tell you this.
Can you get a girl pregnant?
I'll tell you this.
Just answer the question. It's a simple no.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yes, it does.
We're talking about transgender individuals, and neither
who
you
beat
nor
their
I,
women.
Bryson, let her control her time.
She asked me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, rude. Second of all, you went into women's sports and how you said something incredibly, you said that people pretend to be women in order to dominate women's sports. Now, I want you to provide me statistical data, a research study, anything that proves that this is a harmful impact and this is a relevant issue.
Wow, that's
not just one or two cases of a transgender woman beating a cisgender woman in a race or something like that. I want statistical data to prove this.
Well, that's not what I said to begin with.
What?
That's not what I said to begin with. I didn't say that's why they do it.
What'd you say? I don't want to misrepresent your point.
I said there are grown men claiming to be women beating up women in sports. That happens. That's obvious. There are men winning track meets, winning women's track meets.
I know. I would like a source.
You want me to just Google and find your source right now? I mean, you know this is happening. I don't know. I don't understand.
No, it's not though, because transgender women have been participating in female sports for like a decade, like maybe even 2 decades. And you know what's not happening? The transgender women participating in competing against cisgender women aren't winning every single race, every single sporting event. They're just not. If that were the case, we would see transgender women in first place in every single event. Would we not?
No.
Yes, we would. I mean, you just said that, guys are, pretending to be women in order to beat cisgender women, right?
It's your time. Can I respond real quick?
Yeah.
I promise it's not going to be long. My sister went to college, got a full ride because of track. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because she can beat half of my friends that are running that are grown men. So I'm not saying that every man participating in the women's sports will beat women. But if any man come in first place over my daughter, that's not good. That can't happen.
I thought it was your sister.
I was giving you okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't really accept anecdotal evidence. I want data. I want data that specifically disproves my data. Okay? Next, you said that normalizing the mental illness of transgenderism is a detriment to American society. Again, have you personally done the research that counteracts the World Health Organization's proof that transgenderism is not a mental illness.
What's common sense? You don't need articles. You don't need any of that. It's common sense.
Oh, yes, because we as common people all know better than the entirety of the World Health Organization.
No, because
Yes.
people are playing dress up and we're actually telling them they're of the gender that they're not. That is normalizing crazy behavior because you're not. That's
60 seconds.
You're not, but you claim you are. Something is obviously wrong with you. And then you got people in society furthering that thing that you are. So now kids are growing up thinking that's reality when it isn't. So I don't need articles. This is common sense.
It's not, though. It's really not. In fact, your opinion is disproven by a mountain of data. A mountain of data that you haven't refuted at all. At all.
Yes, so, I have. You just don't accept it, but it's the truth. That's why you did. That's why you didn't answer my question.
Listen, Bryson. I know that you have a lot of feelings.
It's not feelings.
But this is a facts over feelings debate.
It is.
You don't have any facts.
Can you grow a penis?
15 seconds.
Can you grow a penis?
Bryson.
IEatPlutocrats. Can you grow a penis? Can you please answer that question?
I cannot believe that this is. I would like to yield the rest of my time. I'm not answering.
All right, you're out. You're out. All right, cool. Time's up. Whoo! Get a little hot in here. Okay, so let's move on to Bryson. Bryson, it is your time. You have 5 minutes. Control it as you see fit.
I don't even need 5. I probably don't even need 2. Because to be honest, all of this evidence and all these articles, they don't mean anything. Because the reason I say transgenderism doesn't exist because a man can't be a woman and a woman can't be a man. She knows that as well, which is why she's not answering my question about her growing a penis. Because it's simply true. You don't need articles. This is nature. This is, I don't even understand why you need articles for this. This is simple nature. So if that is already true, that a man can't be a woman and a woman can't be a man, of course that's true. Of course it is. You don't need evidence. You don't need anything. That's simply the facts. So if that is facts, that makes every single thing else crazy. Normalizing it, telling people that when you say trans women are real women, they're literally not, though. Like, this is what's crazy. They're literally not women, but we're telling them they're women. So when people grow up and you see commercials on TV, like men can get periods too, they literally can't, though. But you're telling them that. So when kids grow up seeing this on TV, have you seen commercials nowadays? They're crazy. That's why I stopped watching TV, because I'm gonna lose my mind. This is just, we have left the common sense realm so much that she is reading off pounds and pounds of papers of data that don't matter, because in the beginning, it doesn't exist. You can't be transgender. You can play dress up. You can play permanent Halloween all you want. You can cut your penis off if you want to. That's cool. That's your decision. But you can cut your penis off and you still can't get pregnant. I saw a trans person on YouTube crying because they couldn't get pregnant.
Okay. Are you done?
Yes.
Are you finished? Okay. So I want to begin this by asking you a question.
Yes.
When you're walking down
Wait, hold on. Are we still on Bryson's time, or do you want me to secede your time and go to hers?
You go to hers.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me restart. All right, you have 5 minutes, Ms. Plutocrats.
Bryson, I would like to ask you a question. When you're walking down the street and you see someone, do you see their chromosomes? Or do you see their appearance and how they've expressed themselves? Do you see their sex chromosomes? Or do you see the way that they're presenting themselves?
Well, when I walk around, I see men, women, and sometimes I see somebody that looks like a woman, but you can tell they're sort of a little brusque. You know what I'm saying? A little manly in their facial features. I'd be like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But
you can't see chromosomes. That's literally impossible to see that.
You can't. So you really have no way of telling whether or not the person you're walking or you see down the street is a man or a woman, correct? Or not a man or a woman, a female or a male, biologically.
Yes, you can tell, because I have eyes.
No, you're not. You really cannot. You're ignoring the fact that trans people pass fairly well, and
y'all think that? No, they do not.
No. I'm not gonna take you shitting on the way that trans people look, because quite honestly, they think about it every waking moment of their existence, right? So I'm not gonna take that. Gender is a social construct, and you seem to be confused about the very clear difference between sex and gender. You're laughing, but darling, this is a scientific consensus. You are wrong. There's no other way to put it. You're simply wrong. You have feelings about transgender people, and you're ignoring the facts. What happened to facts over feelings?
I have a question.
What happened to that?
Can I ask a question during your time?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Okay. So another thing that you said is that they cut off their penis. And I just want to let you know that this is not at all how gender reassignment surgery or gender confirmation surgery happens, okay? We can go into the details if you like, but I think
I'm okay.
It's best if you, yeah, okay. I know that you don't really care about anything in regards to fact. So
yeah. Can I ask a question now?
Sure.
Hey, you said I'm disagreeing with people. Let me ask you a question. When they say that, when these same people that you talk about used to say transgenderism was a mental illness, do you agree with that?
Transgenderism is not a mental illness.
But when they said it was, the people that you're quoting, did you disagree with them when they said that? Because it hasn't been that long ago since it was.
I disagree with the World Health Organization.
When they used to say it was a mental illness, did you disagree with that?
What?
When you already admitted they changed it. So I'm asking you a question. You act like I'm going to get scientific consensus, but the scientific consensus was that it was a mental illness. So I'm asking you, did you agree with that, or did you disagree with the consensus?
And then they changed the consensus.
Did you, before they changed it, did you disagree with that consensus?
This is my time. The consensus changed. And with the change of the consensus, with the confirmation of the validity of trans people in the science, the general opinion should therefore also need to change. It needs to change because it's not a mental illness. You know, the only thing that is technically a mental illness is gender dysphoria, and gender dysphoria is perfectly treatable by allowing transgender individuals to go through the transitioning process. It reduces gender dysphoria.
What is gender dysphoria again? Can you give me a definition on that real quick?
Gender dysphoria is the feeling that you are in the incorrect body, that you are feeling like you are a woman in a man's body or a man in a woman's body.
Is that what? And did you just admit that was a mental illness?
No, gender dysphoria and transgenderism are completely different.
I didn't ask that. I said, did you admit that gender dysphoria was a mental illness?
It is. But gender dysphoria and transgenderism are not the same thing, and you can be transgender without having gender dysphoria.
60 seconds.
No, you cannot. That is literally the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's called transmedicalism if you believe that transgender people need to have gender dysphoria. They don't. They simply don't. What? Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even believe it.
This is literally... I'm just letting the time run out, and when it come back to me, I'll just say what I got to say.
You know what? I'll yield the rest of my time. I'm ever so curious as to what you have to say.
All right. She'll yield the time. Put it back on 5 minutes. Bryson, this is your last 5-minute rebuttal. So go ahead and get started whenever you're ready.
Well, she explained gender dysphoria. She admitted that this was a mental illness. And when I asked her to give me a definition of gender dysphoria, if I'm correct, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you said that it's a man feeling like they're, what is it again? A man that feel like they are a woman but stuck in a man's body, or a woman feeling like that they're a man and stuck in a woman's body? Is that how you describe it?
And I'm obviously not transgender myself, so I don't really know the technicalities of gender dysphoria.
Oh, okay.
But, okay, don't even do that, because you literally have not cited a single source this entire time.
I've cited common sense. Okay, but my thing is, well, a trans person, that means they are a gender, they are a sex, but they're choosing to be another sex. That has to be rooted in them feeling like they're stuck in the wrong body. If I'm willing to cut my penis off, I feel like I'm a woman.
Again, they do not cut their penises off.
Okay, we know how they do it, but basically that's what they're doing. Your penis there, now it's gone. Your penis there, now it's gone. But all I'm saying is, if you're trying to tell me that every single trans person doesn't have gender dysphoria, I don't care about any piece of paper you showed me from people that said something different 6 years ago. This is common sense.
It's not 6 years ago. This literally just came out. Transgenderism is not a mental illness.
That is, okay, you just put my point more further. But this is actually that's crazy to me. And then you haven't answered one question. I asked, why?
Ask your question then.
why are other oppressed groups, picked on groups, why are their suicide rates not as high as transgender people? Why?
Because transgender people
Go do more?
What?
They go do more than slavery?
No one is saying that. No one is comparing oppression here. Okay, that's not the point of this. The point is to recognize the validity of trans people and affirm that they are in fact being oppressed, which is proven by their suicide rates, their suicidal ideation rates, their depression rates, their anxiety rates, their self-mutilation rates.
Why aren't the suicide rates matching other oppressed groups? Why are they almost double everybody else's?
Because people face different oppression, right? Like,
just say you can't answer the question.
Solidarity with them, but the degrees of the depression or oppression and the type of oppression is completely different. It's completely irrelevant what you're bringing up. You know that, right? It's
no. It's very relevant because I'm proving that it is a mental illness easily. And you don't want to accept it. And then I got another question that you just was afraid to answer because you knew, if you answer it,
is honestly, it the growing penis thing?
Yes.
Is it okay. Can
you grow a penis?
You seem to have a fundamental misunderstanding about how sex reassignment surgery works.
Yeah, okay. That's not why I'm asking that. I didn't say anything about surgery just now. I said, can you grow a penis?
What does that have to do with anything? When the technological, because you're saying that someone who is born with 2X chromosomes can't grow a penis, okay? You're right. No one can grow. You haven't proven.
I got a question.
Because the medical technology.
I got a question. It's gonna make you very uncomfortable, which is why it's gonna be funny to me. If me and you engaged in sex and I got you and I did that in you, is it possible you could be pregnant? Huh? Is it possible that you could get pregnant by me?
Not if I'm barren, darling. So does that make me not a woman?
Come on, stop using this. No. As a woman, majority, stop bringing up special cases. In a majority of cases, could I get you pregnant? In the average case, in the average scenario, could I get you pregnant?
You could get a woman pregnant, yes.
How about Tyler? How about Tyler? If I was gay, could I get Tyler pregnant?
Whoa, hold on, buddy.
Let's not bring Tyler in.
Let's not bring me into that. And if anything's happening, I'm topping, boy. So go ahead.
Okay, that's disgusting. Okay, listen, I didn't want to go deep into it. I was just using that is disgusting. I was about the woman.
You brought it up, bro.
Listen, I know that's my fault, but I was just giving a simple scenario, and I felt like I made her uncomfortable, so I was gonna put myself in a separate scenario to make.
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, but I mean, this is common sense. No, I can't get another guy pregnant. No, you can't get another female pregnant, but I can get you pregnant. That is common sense. I don't need a doctor to tell me that, because you know why? You know this. That's why it took you so long to answer these questions, because you know it. That's why my answers are very concise.
Answer your questions. No, I did not. Okay. I didn't. I simply didn't. It's just the points that you're bringing up are irrelevant.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. You haven't proven at all that transgenderism has a negative impact on society at all. Is that time?
That is time.
Sorry.
All right. Okay. Miss IEatPlutocrats, you have your last 5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes. What shall I do? How shall I approach this? Sorry. Okay. Sorry. My cat.
Did your cat just open the door?
No. So a person opened the door so the cat could get in.
That is a fat cat.
Yeah. I don't really know where to go with this. This is literally the most pointless discussion that I've ever had, because you quite literally said that sources don't matter, data doesn't matter, and only your common sense, your own common sense is the only source you cited. Nope. You haven't given me any data. You haven't given me any data, and all I want is just one piece of research that disproves the research that I've presented. I have presented a meta-analysis of 56 different sources that prove that transgenderism is valid.
That's the funny part about the situation, because you are my proof. I mean, nature is our proof, because you're not here from 2 women or 2 men. You're here from a man and a woman.
There's nothing innate or natural about this. In fact, if you forget what I've mentioned before, transgenderism has existed at least since ancient Babylonia. It's existed. It is a part of the human experience. And your denial of it.
How about nature?
I know you think it's funny, but your denial of it is nothing more than just ignorance. Ignorance to the facts. You're shielding yourself.
How about nature, though?
What do you mean about nature?
Can I use nature as evidence?
No.
Oh, okay. Dang, I'm glad we cleared that up. So data is more important than nature. Got it. Thanks. Am I waving my hand right now? Is it possible that I'm doing this? Or are you waving it for me? I don't know. I mean, I can move my hand, but I guess not if Data says something different. I don't know nowadays.
Yes, people have personal autonomy, and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
You simply have not given me a single source.
I gave you nature, and it made you real uncomfortable. That's what
nature?
Yeah. Nature is my proof, literally.
Transgender people are natural. It is
no, they're not.
Transgender. Yes, it is.
No, it's literally not, though. So why do you have to why do you need a surgery to do it?
Why have they existed all throughout history?
Why do you need a surgery?
Have people been gender bending all throughout history according to our modern standards of gender?
Why do you need the surgery?
Because they don't feel comfortable in their bodies, Bryson. It's quite simple.
Oh, gender dysphoria. Got it.
In the mirror, and they don't see themselves. It's really quite simple.
Gender dysphoria. And you already admitted that's a mental illness, and we already settled. Transgenderism is a mental illness. We both agree. What's this?
No, you can't conflate transgenderism and gender dysphoria.
Well, it's the same thing, but...
No, it is not. You can be transgender without having gender.
No, you can't. That's impossible. Literally. That's literally impossible.
It's literally not. I mean, the facts are not on your side here at all.
Can I ask a question? You don't think it's odd? Every time you ask me a question, I answered it very quick and concise. And every time I ask you a question, you get all squirmy and it takes you a long time to answer. Have you noticed that?
No, I'm quite calm right now. I'm amused, if anything.
I am very amused too. I'm not gonna lie, because the fact of the matter is, you just said gender dysphoria. You can be trans without having gender dysphoria, and that is just, man, like, come on, dude.
Gender dysphoria, it can be treated, right? It can be treated. It's actually easily treatable.
How?
The treatments are working.
Tell me how. Let's talk about it. Let's get it going.
I'm so glad you asked.
Me too.
I'm so glad you asked. Before a transgender teenager or child essentially goes through puberty, they are already displaying signs of transgenderism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're displaying signs of transgenderism early in childhood. Before they go on puberty, with the help of medical professionals, their family, and specialists, they can be put on puberty suppressants. You want to know what the best part about puberty suppressants is?
Tell me.
It's reversible. So if they change their mind,
60 seconds.
They can go right back to their normal biological male or female puberty. And if they don't change their mind, it's easier for them to transition later in life. Isn't that wonderful?
So give kids
technology amazing.
So give kids unnatural pills is your solution.
Unnatural. It's actually used to treat like a wide variety of puberty suppressants are very, very well researched.
I didn't say anything about it being well researched or not. So that's your solution is to give kids pills.
If it'll help with their gender dysphoria, hell yeah.
You see how I asked a simple question and you know the answer was yes, but instead you try to add extra stuff to it. Why? Just say
hell yeah.
No, it's deep down. You know this is crazy.
15
deep
seconds.
down.
I really don't.
Yeah, I know you do though. That's what's funny.
I think it's a medical marvel that we are able to so effectively treat this. It's fantastic news. This is so easily treatable, and the only thing holding us back from doing this is stigma perpetuated by people like you.
Ooh, it's a heated debate. All right, well, all of the rebuttals are gone. You guys still have your 2-minute closing statements where you can wrap up anything, thoughts about your contender, anything that maybe you didn't address. But Bryson, you are first. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead and get started.
Well, this is simple. The reason why it's hard to explain why the suicide rates are higher in the transgender community versus any other oppressed group is because they are mentally ill. How do I know they are mentally ill? Because there are grown men telling you that they are actually women. That in itself is proof of mental illness. I don't need no paper or anything. If you're convinced that you're something you're not, literally, that means something is wrong with you. And I'm not saying you're a terrible human being, but something is wrong with you, which is why you need help. Now, what we do instead is tell them that they're actually right. You are a woman, even though you're not, but you are. You should go get this surgery. Have no more penis. Or take all these pills. Or do this. That's unnatural to prove their point. It's bad for society. There's going to be no grown man competing against women. This is just common. I don't even understand what this is about. This is common sense. All of this data was literally irrelevant. But she seemed like a nice gal. You're not trans, are you? Okay.
No.
Okay, she's like a nice gal. You know, she's cool. You know, she's a woman. Hey, ain't that something?
So are transgender women. So,
all right.
Can I start my last 2 minutes?
Yep. Yeah, Bryson, you're done, right?
Hmm?
Okay. Yes. Plutocrats, you can do your 2-minute closing statement.
Something that I hear from conservatives all the time, conservatives like yourself, Bryson, is facts over feelings. Facts prevail over feelings, right? You're nodding your head? Right. So why is it that I have cited dozens, if not hundreds, of sources, and you have cited none? You've cited none. You're rejecting the scientific consensus regarding transgenderism not being a mental illness, the validity of transgenderism. You're denying all of this because of your feelings about transgender people, your feelings that trans women are not women, trans men are not men, your feelings that non-binary people, whatever, I don't even know if you even acknowledge their existence. But quite frankly, Bryson, the science proves you wrong. It proves your feelings wrong, and it doesn't care what you think. Facts don't care about your feelings.
I agree.
Okay, so I think I've just won this debate. There's no debate here. This question, the question that was posed, does transgenderism have a negative impact on society? This question has a right and wrong answer. There's no debate to be had here. Yours is wrong, factually just incorrect. Your position is factually incorrect. And unfortunately, the data is on my side here, right? And to the transgender people who had the misfortune of sitting through this entire debate, I just want to let you know that I think you're a woman if you identify as a trans woman. I think you're a man if you identify as a trans man. And if you're non-binary, I love you for that. I hate gender as well. So yeah, that's all I have to say. You're valid and the data is on your side here. So yeah.
Ooh, low.
Okay. And that is that's a wrap. That is totally a wrap. I mean, did y'all typically this is where I say did y'all have fun, but that was got a little heated there.
Fun.
You had
Of course
fun?
I did.
Did you guys have fun?
I do this every day. I love it.
Good. So tell me, man, where can Bryson, where can people find you online?
Type in Bryson Gray anywhere, BRYSON GRAY. Download my Maga Ain't Got No Color album. While I speak on transgenderism a few times during the album. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty lit. You know, I Eat Plutocrats. You should listen to it. It's actually pretty lit.
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
I'm trust. But yeah, you know the vibes, man.
I Eat Plutocrats. Where can people find you online?
I Eat Plutocrats anywhere and everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere. So what about you guys listening at home? Who had the better arguments? Remember, you can vote on who you think won on our Instagram page at 40 Minute Debates. But the poll is only open for 24 hours, so make sure you vote quickly. And if you enjoyed this debate and you want to hear more, make sure you follow us on IG. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube. And until next time.